Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and welcome to the Guiding Stars podcast, where we discuss our motherhood journey, the ups, the downs, and everything in between. Our guest today is Saras Saadi, who is the founder of Storybook DXB, Learn Through Play. Sara, thank you very much for being with us today and making the time for us. Can you tell us more
Thank you
about...
for having me.
Sure. Can you tell us more about yourself, what you do? Who is Sara?
Okay, so my name is Saras Journey. I'm a mother of two boys, Zaid and Diab. My journey began with a lot of good stuff. So I worked for 10 years in the corporate world. So I did work with adults and teenagers. I was specifically managing a part of HR and government and private companies, which was so much fun. You know, you get to know people, you get to know adults, you get to experience with different mentalities, with different kind of different people. 3 years ago, I decided to take a step forward and pursue a career with research and children, specifically communities and parents. I decided that adults, I figured, or you can say I realized that adults have a lot of gap in terms of emotional intelligence. So I did work with them for 10 years. I worked with hundreds of people. My last job was managing around 650 people. So it was a big challenge for me to have that. But I did do it, and I did know each and every person. And they were mostly Emiratis, which was great to work with, and non-Emiratis as well. So you get to know lots of cultures, lots of traditions. I loved it. I loved my job. But I did see a gap in adults, and I wanted to fix it in children from beginning. So, for example, like I told you, emotional intelligence, empathy, growth mindset. I didn't really see this in adults much. Yeah. I mean, it was very rare to see it. So that's where I thought there was a gap. And then I did go deep into childhood development and how children learn and how they expand their knowledge and how do adults can support or facilitate learning for children. I did go deep into that in my research, which was really interesting as well. So it's just like waking up one day and finding yourself, I guess. And alhamdulillah, it's been 3 years.
Alhamdulillah. So did that realization of the gap come when your children started to grow up a little bit more and kind of you notice that children have one thing that adults no longer have? Or how did it come about that connecting the dots?
My children did play a big role because it's just you simply telling your child, challenges help me grow. You know, it's just that simple sentence that will change their world.
Yeah.
Because now, if something happens or they want to overcome some kind of challenge, they understand that challenges help me grow. But not many adults know this.
True.
We know it recently. Like I think that it's been recent where social media became popular and people started seeing things that we didn't see before. For example, when we talk to our parents or our grandparents, they're going to say, oh, but we grew up this way and nothing happened to us.
Yeah.
But then when I look at it, I say, maybe that's why everybody's like depressed and, they have 1,000 issues, because you thought that it's not an issue.
Yeah.
So
Any thought? Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do with children. We're trying to make awareness for the community and for the parents on how to basically just have that kind of mentality of growth for children in terms of culturally accepting others the way they are, many things.
Beautiful.
So that's what we're trying to do.
And that's through Storybook DXP, right?
Yes, exactly. So storybook, yeah.
No, go ahead.
So Storybook did start at the public library where we started doing sessions for the community. I learned through play sessions. So we did do one session about empathy where we told the children, bring your parents' pictures and say something about them, or bring your friend's picture and say something about them, or what will you do? How can you be kind towards this person? What is the action? We show them the action. We show them the real pictures, real images, because children do connect with real images.
Interesting. And how has being a mother helped shape the content that you put together? What did you personally realize within you that now you feel the other adults or the other children, it's important for them to have?
Kindness, just simply being kind to others, being good, being a good person. I guess that's all that matters, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, that you need to thrive in life. That's other aspects of life, but it starts with kindness. It starts with listening to children. It starts to understand others. How do we understand others? How do we connect to others? We can't judge because of the way we look at a person. We need to know why a person is this way, because we need to communicate to that person to understand from them. We can't just judge. So that's what I realized. I don't want my child to grow in a world that is, I guess, unfair in a way.
Yeah. Or
when it
full of
comes
judgment.
Yes, exactly. I mean, us as mothers, we are always judged. Oh, he doesn't eat well because he's too skinny. Or, oh, why is he too, chubby? What are you feeding him? Oh, why doesn't he sleep early? Or, if we turn this why into constructive feedback for other mothers. For example, my child sleeps at 7 and it helps him focus the next day, and he's much more calmer. Maybe rather than why does your child sleep at 9 or 10? It's so bad for his brain. We need to kind of change our words. So yeah, it took me a while to realize.
Do you feel that the parenting environment or the motherhood ecosystem, if I may, has a lot of a competition element that kind of doesn't make empathy or kindness the automatic first thought? Although it's changing now, but you still face those mothers who feel motherhood is a competition instead of a cohesive community where we support each other, where we help each other grow.
It's funny you say this because I do realize this through my Instagram channel, Dubai_Mama, where I think you're also following that Instagram, where I post several research facts for mothers, and I also do post healthy ways to spend your day. For example, get up in the morning, exercise, then drop the kids to school, then it continues, and it's like a healthy kind of lifestyle that you're trying to show to others. This is the way we should actually spend our day, rather than scrolling on Instagram or seeing what the other mom is doing. Competition, just working on yourself. So I do see this from the comments that I receive from people saying, well, how do you have so much time to do this? How do you have time to work, study? Because I'm still studying my higher education, and have your kids and spend time with them. Children are not, they don't want you there 24 hours. That's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is that 2 hours or 1 hour of focus on your child is what's going to help him grow. And it's not you being on a phone or on watching a show and being just around your child. I do get comments from mothers saying, oh, but we shouldn't judge other moms. You know, they need a break. Yes, no one said we do need a break. And I do take a break every single day. If I don't take a break, I won't be sane. This is for a fact. My break is considered my 6 to 7 morning workout, and then my afternoon tea with a friend, and then my meetings during the day. It's considered a break for me. You know what I mean?
And I think
So
it all
it's
depends on
trying
how
to
we
just
look at it.
showing. Yeah. So other moms could perceive it as like it's some kind of competition that they need to compete in a way, but it's not. It's just learning from others. I learned from my friend to give time for myself. So this is what I learned, and I was like a workaholic basically. You know what I mean? But I started giving time for myself.
Yeah. How old are Zaid and Tia?
So Zaid is 6. He just turned 6. And Diab is 3.5.
Yeah, Allah يحفظهم, mashallah. I want to ask you about how your experience with the whole pandemic and working from home, remote learning, and all of that, while still carving out that time for yourself, as you mentioned.
Okay, so the pandemic was like some kind of blessing, I feel, for us. We spent it as a family of, together, a family of 4. Farah, being a mother with a supportive husband helps a lot. Honestly, it's the support. I have to give it. I have to give it for my husband. He's been one of the most supporting people that I've heard of, like with my education, with my work. We just took shifts basically so we can complete each other's. Like he has a meeting, so I would take that shift and we would just take shifts, and this is the way it was.
Beautiful.
It was very helpful. It was helpful. And people don't talk about the positive things anymore for some reason,
True.
But this is true. Like we were working out during the pandemic. We didn't stop our exercise routine whatsoever. We did work out every single day, both of us, myself and my husband, and we included the children in the exercise, and we actually built a beach on the balcony, which was super cool.
That's cute.
We tried to we tried to do it. I'm not saying that there weren't days where I was like, that's it. And I would sit in the bathroom and cry. Like there were these kind of days. It was too overwhelming. It felt like the world was ending to me at the beginning because I was freaking out. I was like, no, I don't want this world for my children to live in. You know what I mean? So it was overwhelming. I mean, it's one of the things that I study is being in touch with your own feelings, and it's okay to feel scared. And that's what I always tell my children. It's okay. It's a normal feeling to be scared.
Yeah. And how were you managing with the remote learning and ensuring that your child is actually attending the classes and focusing and getting all the work done?
So I agreed with their teacher that I'm not going to follow the online learning. I will follow my own ways, where I don't let them be in front of the computer for the whole time. They give me the class plan, and I deliver the learning the way I see it fitting. Beautiful. And the school was very supportive. for even Zayed, like they would be learning phonics in a certain way, but I would make it in a different way for him through play, because that's my specialty. I'm learning through play.
Yeah.
So, and I would include his brother Diab, which was not yet in school at the time.
Yeah.
He was in nursery, but I would include him in simpler versions of it. So I did post a couple of these on Instagram, Dubai_Mama. And I did post the difference between doing an activity for a 6-year-old and an activity for a 3-year-old.
Beautiful.
From the same material, basically.
Yeah. And I've purchased one of the storybook boxes too, actually, and they've been very entertaining for all of us, not just my boys. Can you tell us more about that and how you realize that it's truly bringing the family together, all member of the family?
It's true. So when we designed the boxes, we realized that it doesn't. It's not just a box that you give to a child and you're like, okay, here you go. It's activities one by one. It's around 12 to 15 activities per box. And it includes the whole family. And it doesn't complicate, it's not complicated words. It's not hard to read through. It's nothing like that. It's actually more fun and learning.
It is.
So that's what we did when we did create the boxes. So the boxes was the beginning of our business in July. Previously, we were sessions and around the community, which we're gonna bring back in January. So we will bring back these sessions in the public library, but on a bigger scale. And these boxes were just the beginning of our business in the store, but we're actually creating another 8 products from scratch, and it's our designs, and it's toys that will be sold in many places. We are currently in retail stores and the Dubai distribution. So that was just from July. Yes, see, like July, it was just the beginning of us kind of getting out of that pandemic.
Yeah.
So we did thrive at that time. We thought out of the box, and we thought maybe we should start making products so kids can have it at home. And we actually made the prices really low because it wasn't about the product. It wasn't about making a business. It's about the community. This is our target. Our target is bringing the community and the parents together. So this was our target, main target.
And I, for one, from my own personal experience, believe that target has been achieved in our household. It truly brought us together. It even got our nannies wanting to kind of play with it even more and more, because they really are fun. It's a huge variety of activities, and it's very inspiring to see how in just a short period of time, from July up till now, the kind of growth that Storybook Dubai has seen. And I want to ask you, if you were to give a mom any advice or tips who is either looking to start her own thing or wanting to build that playful mindset or growth mindset in her household, how do you think she can go about it?
So are you asking about how can a mom build her own business, or how can a mom have that kind of mindset of sitting with a child and actually doing a couple of activities that will enhance their cognitive, socio-emotional skills, physical? Is that your question?
It's the latter one, yes.
Okay, so it does take several steps. I'll start doing consultations after I get my because obviously you will need I do have a degree for consultations, but I would need what is it called, like a
certification
from DED.
Yeah,
not a
a
certification, it's
license.
a license. And I believe that is very important. I know many people work with no licenses, but I'm not that kind of person. I need to have that license. So my exam will be around 25th of December or 26th. I can't remember the date exactly. But after that exam, I will be licensed to do consultations for mom. So my plan is to do learn through play consultations and some consultations for teenagers to build their careers, because I am also experienced in that for 10 years. So
Interesting. Can you tell us more about that? About how, because teenagers are it's such a transitional age. You know, you're no
yes.
longer a child, but you're not an adult. You're that in between. It's not just confusing for the teenager, but also for the
Yeah.
parents.
It was so much fun working with the teenagers, especially the ones, I mean, I can say the ones who are transitioning basically, because they were high schoolers, and I would advise them on, they would be very confused about career. So I would advise them on how to understand what to study so you can go and reach to a certain goal. For example, a girl wanted to study interior design, so we had to pull out a job description and read through that. And I'm like, this is how your job, this is your life. Are you willing to do one, two, three? It's
Yeah.
just simply about motivating that teenager and telling them how their life is going to be, and also allowing them to express what they really want in a career, because some of them could just be confused. If we had these kind of people that can consult children from the beginning about their career, so many people would be actually happy in their jobs now.
I fully agree. And it's so beautiful and heartwarming to see that you're bridging that gap. You're intending to bridge that gap, because a lot of us, myself included, I never truly knew what kind of career I wanted until I started working. And that's when I started saying, I like this, I don't like that. But if I was able to figure that out before choosing a major, I think I would have saved myself so much time.
Exactly. So it's just about hearing that, child you have, whether it's a teenager or a child, and they say that children have 100 languages to communicate. Um, so listen to that child. They communicate in 100 languages. Wow, you know what I mean? They communicate
Yeah.
through verbal, through many things.
I think it's worth asking, how do we, as mothers, allow ourselves to hear them out without projecting our fears or our biased opinion towards them? So, for example, if my son were to come to me and tell me, Mama, I want to be X. And I go like, yeah, but I think if you do Y, it would be better, having that kind of neutral ground.
So I've attended this course with Tenshia. I believe they're very excellent. It's a course by Hand in Hand from the UK. I'll give you the Instagram. Maybe you can post it on your platform. But one thing I learned from them is just to listen. It's listening. My son told me that he wants to be Spider-Man the other day. I said, yeah, sure, you can be whoever you want to be.
That's beautiful.
To be Spider-Man. And then he said, actually, I want to be Dr. Spider-Man. I said, well, you can be Dr. Spider-Man. It's up to you. It's not you, like, I understand. Some people will say, but that's not realistic, and I want my child to be realistic. But it's okay.
Yeah.
The child will imagine today, but he will be realistic tomorrow.
That's so true. That's true and very, very beautiful. I want to ask you, before we close out the episode, what is one or two things that stands out the most from both your entrepreneurial journey or your journey as a mother? What's the things that you would want to kind of share with our mothers who are listening?
Resilience. Resilience is the word. Just wrap it up with just one word. It's just having that, mindset that I'm going to go on regardless of setbacks that I have. I'm going to face some setbacks from some, for example, currently we are facing one setback from one of our stakeholders, but I know that for a fact this setback will give us a pathway into a good, a good thing, basically.
Yeah.
Something good will come out of it. I don't want to say be positive because so many people say just be positive, but how? How can we be positive? It's just having that kind of mindset that I understand this is going to happen to me, but how will I solve it? Give me the solution.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned something that's I, for one, think is very important is resilience, and also believing that every roadblock or every challenge that we face is redirecting us to something that's more rewarding, hopefully, even if we can't see it at this very moment. Sara, thank you very, very much for your time today, for sharing your insights, your knowledge. It sounds very exciting. I can't wait till you open back again those sessions that you do. And if people want to know more about Sara, about Storybook and everything, all the wonderful things that you do, how can they get in touch with you?
So they can get in touch from storybook.dxb on Instagram or www.storybook.ae. That's where they will find. And we are currently launching a new business for the community. I will be posting about it. This is you the first. It's exclusive for you, Hannah. Nobody knows about this yet. We are working with government bodies.
We feel honored.
And I wanted to tell you that thank you. I feel honored for having me. So we are currently working with government bodies to launch this for the community. So it's going to be really exciting, and we are hoping to reach the target that we want to reach, which is bringing the community together regardless ethnicity or nationality or color or religion. It's just all about tolerance. It's what our leaders in the UAE teach us. It's tolerance.
So true.
So that's our target. And I would like to finish our conversation with a little poem about children and how they can have 100 languages. So remember, I was telling you that children communicate through 100 languages, basically, and it's a concept from Reggio Emilia, which I absolutely love. So I'll read it because I didn't memorize it for you guys.
All right.
Okay. So the 100 is there. The child is made of 100. The child has 100 languages, 100 hands, 100 thoughts, 100 ways of thinking, of playing, of speaking, 100 always, 100 ways of listening, of marveling, of loving, 100 joys for singing and understanding, 100 worlds, to discover 100 worlds, to invent 100 worlds, to dream. The child has 100 languages.
That is so.
And 100 more, but they steal 99. The school and the culture separate the head from the body. They tell the child to think without hands, to do without head, to listen and not speak, to understand without joy, to love and to marvel. They tell the child to discover the world already there, that we already have. And of the 100, they steal 99. They tell the child that work and play, reality and fantasy, science and imagination, sky and earth, reason and dream are things that are not belonging together. And thus they tell the child that the 100 is not there. The child says, "No way, the 100 is there." So basically, this poem is very true. You go into a school and the child is born with 100 languages, and adults just take it away because they tell you, you read, you understand what's already there. You have to do what's already there in the books. So that's what I feel about children. It's the adult not allowing them to imagine the way they want. And this poem just literally closes what all the questions that you have about children and motherhood.
That's a beautiful poem. Thank you so much for sharing it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that's a beautiful way to close the episode, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you for the gift that you just shared with us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your insights. And thank you to all our listeners for taking the time and listening to Sarah. I urge you to reach out to her. Check out Storybook. Check Sarah out. And trust me, you will learn so many things from everything around you if you just allow yourself to. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank